Talking a little bit about the brain, again, something that I picked up during an earlier comment of yours is that you said, okay, we have some wind down time and that we preferably do not consume a whole lot of content. And I think all of us kind of know that at least an hour, maybe even two, you don't look at a device anymore. And I would be interested if there is any studies. Is that due to the fact of the content, or is that due to looking at a device? Meaning, is it that your brain is active thinking about whatever you are consuming, even though it might be dull social media? Or is it looking at a device and the screen? I don't know if you differentiate between the two.
Absolutely, and it's both. It's definitely both. There are quite a few studies looking at the effect of just the bright light, and it doesn't need to be social media. I read a study that was where people were using an iPad to read, and so they were just reading, but they were finding significant effects on how long it took someone to go to sleep, and how awake they felt the next day, even. So there's definitely the actual, just the physical light, difference of light, that close to your face typically, that late at night when your brain is trying to secrete melatonin, but that kind of light prevents melatonin from being secreted. Um, and then as for content, what they talk a lot about is salience. And so if something's very engaging, or it's stimulating your brain a lot, that's definitely not going to help you wind down for a restful night of sleep, especially if you're watching something, that something that's stressful, such as like the news or social media, that might be very stressful in going to bed. Um, so it's definitely both.
Question, and I don't know if you have an assumption or even an answer based on a study there. And I would be interested if you have negative thoughts or stuff that keeps you very busy. Let's just say, I think all of us have such phases in our life. If it can help to write them down in a journal before you go to bed, or make a voice recording or something, basically to put those ideas and thoughts somewhere else than taking them into the night. I don't know if that makes sense, and if you have in fact an answer to that.
I have definitely come across that as a tip in terms of some people have a quite a bit of difficulty falling asleep. I myself am able to fall asleep usually pretty quickly. I'm one of the lucky ones there. But for people that are maybe feeling anxious before going to sleep, I have heard that writing something down, making a voice note, as you mentioned, are good tips to just get that thought outside of you. That's so then you can think about it tomorrow, but at least it's written down. And I find that I've heard that that has helped people.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm also one of the lucky ones, usually at least, even at new places, I fall asleep in no time. But I think there's a lot of people who have much more difficulties falling asleep. So thank you very much on those comments on the sleep environment and also the wind down time.
I think one more thing in terms of sleep hygiene that's been, I think, the most crucial for me is consistency. Trying to be consistent in when you're going to bed and when you're waking up. On the weekends, it kind of doesn't matter when I fall asleep. I will usually wake up between 7:30 and 8:30. During the week, I typically wake up around 7:30. So that's not perfect, but just trying to be as consistent as possible helps your body figure out, okay, when should I start sending out these hormones that are going to initiate the process of sleep for you? Yeah, I think that's been really crucial, and so not going to bed at 11 p.m. one night and then 4 a.m. the next night and then 8 p.m. the next night. Being more consistent with your schedule is very helpful for your body to set up those circadian rhythms.
Okay, and try to have kind of a natural rhythm. And let's just maybe take an example, and I don't want to invade anyone's sleep rhythm here, but I hear you say that if during the week, due to work or due to commuting or due to something, you wake up at, let's say, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and then during the weekends, because you have to gain back or because you like to sleep or because you have a different chronotype, you sleep until 11 a.m. or even noon, that this usually would not be the very best for your brain and for your sleep rhythm overall. Is that a fair assumption?
It is. That's what they call sleep rebound. So you're experiencing some kind of deprivation during the week if you're going to bed and you're only getting 6 hours of sleep before you have to wake up. So on the weekend, you overcompensate for the sleep that you've lost during the week. However, kind of on that point of consistency, it's a little bit more challenging for your body to catch up to when it should be initiating sleep. So there definitely is there is some research to back up that assumption.
So if you like that, make sure to check out the full-length episode here and leave a subscribe. Thank you.